Okay, we're focusing on a different part of the brewery today, the kegerator area here, the keezer. We're gonna add an additional tap on it, specifically for counter pressure bottle filling. I have used a different bottle filler called the Last Straw for quite a while. I saw this device and I had to buy it because I do bottle beers from time to time and ship them to people. This was made by Boel. It's the iTapX, and basically it's just another, it's a full-on plastic tap that I just put on my keezer, and I have to drill out a hole for it and everything, just like I did all the other shanks. And then I should be able to counter pressure bottle fill bottles on the fly just by simply connecting my liquid and my gas to whatever keg I need to use. So without further ado, let me show you what we got here. This, my friends, is the iTapX made by Boel. It's a Russian company. I ordered it on, I ordered it on eBay. No, I ordered it straight from the company. It got here in like 2 weeks, surprisingly. And I did end up ordering an additional crown capper adapter because the one that came with it was for the deeper neck type bottles. And then I had to actually order this shorter one because sometimes I recycle bottles, guys. So a lot of times when I bottle beer, I use beer bottles. I just wash them and sanitize them and fill them, and then, hey, we're recycling bottles, right? But I had to get this shorter one because if you see between these two, this one is deeper than this one because this one's meant for shallower style bottles, such as shallower bottles, such as if you look at these two bottles, this being the Boston Lager I poured the other day, and this is a coffee porter bottle. These are two different types of bottles. You'll see this one's got the longer top and this is like a shorter crown. So I needed the shorter one for this kind of bottle because the one that comes with the iTapX is meant for these kind of bottles, which is typical homebrew style bottles. But I want to be able to cap either one, depending on what kind of bottles I get from friends and stuff that are recycling bottles. I might get one or the other, depending on which brewery it is. But yeah, so now I can cap either one. This is a real simple install. I'm basically going to drill just a new hole, run the shank through, tighten it down, boom, connect some gas line, beverage line, we rock and roll. So without boring you anymore on just talking at you, let's get to work. Don't mind the shameless plug for the people that are on my sticker, on my kegerator here. Traeger, of course, that was the first sticker I put on there. My Texas Brewing sticker, Wrecked Brewing, which is Matthew Morris, and then the Cooking Coffin Babe sticker there. Josh and Beth. But yeah, they're all on here, and I'll just keep adding stickers as we go. Anybody wants to send stickers, send them to me. I'll add them to my keezer. So first thing I want to do is line of sight here is I want to find the middle of my board, and I'm just going to come over and make a mark where I want to put this tap. So I want to come, it doesn't have to be perfectly in line. Like I said, this tap is going to be over a ways from the other two. I just want to make it level at least. So I'm thinking right about here. Just kind of make a little impression with my drill bit here. Boom, that's the center of where the shank's going to go through. I wanted it kind of over here for bottling without bumping into these taps. So this is where it's going to go. So let's get that drilled out. Wow, there it is, my hole. And my mess. This is messy, guys. So, there it is. All drilled out. I'm sure there's a mess inside here, but I don't care about that at the moment. I'll clean all that up after the fact. So let me move my stuff out of the way here. Guess I'll just put it on the floor here. And that should just go just like that. Go right in there. So surprisingly, not too much of a mess in there. I mean, came through pretty clean actually. So yeah, you can see that shank doesn't push through, it doesn't poke out too much, which I'm happy about. Okay, so this is in. I do have room to move this keg back if I need to, which is going to be, I'm just going to move it back to. So I moved that keg back, so now I have room to work here. Okay, so we got this in. What I need to do is secure it down, so there's a little nut that comes with this. This is all plastic, so you have to kind of be careful when you're wrenching the stuff down. You don't want to wrench it down too snug, you just want it on there enough. Just like that. Next there's this little dealio guy here. I forgot to show you guys actually. Let me take this off. Alright. There's a little red gasket that comes with the kit. It goes around this guy. Right? And that goes on like so. Okay, so I ran into a problem, which I had to do a little modify on my collar. I'll show you right quick here. Okay, so when I was trying to put this on, you can see my mess, so I'm vacuuming all that out here shortly. Ended up taking all my kegs and stuff out to do all this, because I dropped some parts in there and everything, but I need to clean it out anyways. So this nut is kind of thick that they give with this thing. It's a very thick nut. I mean, so when it was flush here, I didn't have space, and I'm sure others have ran into this issue. I could have probably reached out to Boel and asked them to send me a longer shank, but me being the impatient fella that I am, I decided not to. So I only had that much threading to work with for this, and this is kind of deep, so it needs to be flush, and it wasn't mounting flush. So I would have had liquid leaking everywhere if I didn't mod my collar. So I mean, it would have been jiggly, you know. So what I did was just simply take a bigger wood bit, drill out a bigger diameter on the inside here so that this nut would kind of countersink into the collar. And then once that was verified that it worked, after a few checks as I went, this piece will now sit flush and snug, so I don't have like any liquid loss. See, it's all the way. So that's a simple fix. I just had to drill out a bigger diameter on the inside of my collar here. Still got plenty of wood thickness there for insulation, so I'm not worried about that at all. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up my mess here, and then we'll continue. This already has a gasket pre-installed in here, so you don't have to do anything with it. Just verify it's in there, you know, before you do this next part. And you just take it and spin it on here. Once I get it aligned right to these threads. Okay, there we go. I may have to adjust the shank. Thinking about this now. See, when it's snug on the shank, now I'm going to loosen this inside here, turn it more. Tap's installed. Ta-da! That's all there is to that. Okay, for this part, I got about 10 feet of beverage line here. This line will just always just kind of sit inside here and stay cold. I do have a ball lock connector that'll be dedicated just for this guy. So what we're going to do is get it going first. Okay, I had to switch clamps because that clamp was just not doing me any justice. So I'm using these little twisty ones. I know people are hating on these in my kegerator video, but you know what? They're as simple as this though, you just twist them. You just twist them until they're snug. And if you wanted to, you can take some wire cutters and cut off the excess if you're worried about this hurting your fingers or whatever when you reach down into your kegerator. I've been okay so far. You know, it's the first time for everything, right? So I'm just going to snug this down as much as I can. These are very convenient because of that. That's pretty snug. So we got our ball lock. Let me get a pair of channel locks to bend this down some. Some old channel locks I have laying around. Just kind of bending it downward some here. Man, that's better. Alright, so there's our dedicated ball lock our dedicated liquid ball lock connector. It'll just stay down in here. The other end will be connecting to our tap. So simply take this liquid hand here and put it on the tap. Oh, first things first, put this on and just slide it on there all the way and just tighten her down. I'm right-handed, so this is awkward. I'm gonna have to learn to use my left hand better. There we go, nice and snug. So now we have our dedicated liquid line here. And you can always just choose, I mean, you could organize this and like have it hang off, I guess, in here some way. Just gonna have it in there like so, ready to go. I'll have to figure that out later, but anyways, that's the inside part. So let's look at the outside part here. Real simple. Okay, so my version of the iTapX came with these quick connects, which was what I wanted because there are two different types of this tap. One that comes with these guys and the other one that has dedicated lines just tied to it at all times. I wanted to be able to disconnect these, my overflow foam line and my CO2 line. So I wanted to go ahead and buy this version of the tap system. So I'll show you how I connect those next. Okay, so I have a dedicated gas line here. This is actually my last straw gas line. I'm actually going to repurpose this line to work with one of these connectors. And I have a video from a very long time ago about installing a Y splitter on my regulator. Check that video out if you haven't. There's a little Y splitter where you can like add a dedicated gas line to your regulator if you want, that just is used for other things like bottle filling or whatever. So that's this gas line. I'm gonna have to cut this off and then I can attach it. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's see if I can do this now. I've let this sit for a little bit in some hot water. Should be easier, a little more flexible. Well, that's about as good as I'm gonna be able to get it on there because it's such a thick hose. But that should be fine. I just need to get at least, I might try and niggle with it a little later. But for the sake of time in this video, I'm just gonna crimp it down right there where it hooks on. All right, so just crimp down this. All right, so that's the gas line. It'll simply come in on this side, slide in just like that. All right, let's do the overflow foam line here. This is just going to go into a pitcher or something down below for all that excess foam that comes out. This is already way easier to put on. I'm just going to crimp it down. I don't even think you need to crimp this down because I don't think this is a high pressure line. But I'll crimp it down anyways, just for the sake of it. I think this is just where all the foam is going to go once you start filling the bottle. I'm just going to snug it down to where it's flat, like that, so it doesn't interfere, like I said. So, let's take a look at this. So this is the overflow line. It will go on this side because there's a little pressure balance control here to kind of balance the pressure between the bottle and the keg. And then you would take this end and put it in like a, I could probably cut this a little shorter, and I probably will, but this will go into like a container down below for all the foam to flow out. And so yeah, there's that. And then my Y splitter gas, just that's connected, will just go into the back of this side. And if I turn this on, my Y splitter's on. Here's gas, here the gas. That's for purging the bottle, pressurizing the bottle, I should say. And that just sends the CO2 into the bottle and pressurizes the bottle. And then the beer line, of course, flows in from here into the actual tap. And so I have these, like I said earlier, I have these two adapters. This is for the shallower crown bottles. This is for the taller crown. This bottle is a taller crown. So all I basically do is take this, put it on like so. And then you take your bottle, you put it up inside there, and then you tighten it until the bottle's snug. And that's it. And the bottle's on there good, it's holding on, you don't even gotta hold the bottle. You, Y splitter's still on, you can pressurize the bottle and bleed out the pressure. So let's show you. Alright guys, I got the beverage line hooked to my Samuel Adams Boston Lager keg. So we're going to go ahead and put this nice clean sanitized bottle in here. Let me line it up. There we go. I'm just going to turn it, tightens it down. Pretty snug. So we're going to give it a whirl. Alright, so according to instructions, first things first, we've got to purge the bottle of oxygen by injecting with a little CO2. You can hear CO2 went in there. Next, go ahead and pull the knob, or pull the tap down, and we're going to open up the flow. You can hear the air coming out. Now, I actually see the bottle filling up. We slow the flow a little bit here. And you can open it up a little bit more to speed it up some. And the beer is filling up ever so slowly. And you can hear the air being purged out of the bottle and going out the drain tube here into my little container down here. I can open it up to speed it up some. But yeah, that's a pretty, let me dial the speed down a little bit. This is a warm bottle. I did not refrigerate it or anything. It's just a room temperature bottle. We can see the foam coming up the neck, and it will come out this drain tube. And once I get the beer up to close to the top, I'll stop. Okay. Now it says turn the tap off and open this up all the way to relieve the pressure so it equalizes with the room. Turn this off to loosen the bottle. We have a perfectly bottled beer here. That's awesome. That's way better than using the last straw or anything I've seen outside of it. Barely any foam came out of it. This bottle was room temperature. Usually you have to refrigerate your bottles so that it doesn't foam too much, but you can take perfectly warm bottles and fill them up. And that's a big plus, man. Cheers. Oh yeah. So, I'm glad I added this to my kegerator. If you're a bottler like me, I don't can. I know a lot of people are getting into canning. I'm not doing that because, well, one, bottles are everywhere. You can find bottles easily. You can throw a rock out the window and hit a location that has bottles. Like, this is a Sam Adams bottle. All I did was get all the labels off it, clean it, sanitize it, and it's ready to rock and roll for some home brews, man. So, if you're a person that bottles, like me, this thing's fantastic. It's not a paid promotion either. There are a lot of homebrewers that got the thing free. And I'm wondering why Boel didn't reach out to me. Because after I saw that, I was anxious to try it out. So, anyways, it's got my full endorsement though anyways. Because foamless finish, not having beer all over the place, this is such a clean way to bottle your beers from keg. And share them with your friends. So, cheers guys, and I hope this was fairly informative, and we'll see what comes next, right? Can't believe how easy that was and clean. Oh yeah, also like and subscribe, please. Down below, just hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, guys.